take curves without even turning. Yeah, I'm fucking done. Alright, let's go to car settings. Because I think I can use nitrous on here without, you know, pretty much you don't want to hit any walls. Or try to knock me off the road and I'll shove you into a wall. Wow. Okay. Knock, knock, motherfucker. The mechanical damage though makes it and the AI, like I said, they'll wreck you. I've had like 6 different cars already hit me. And even though you don't hit them, mechanical damage is, well, mechanical damage. Yeah, if you don't catch that first guy pretty quick, and I didn't, and I did not. I made it to third place before I had to pit, but it didn't matter because now, since I pitted, it threw me all the way pretty much back to 20. Yep, yep, I'm 17 to 20 now. So there's no probably catching first guy now. And since nitrous is prohibited, and I can only get, even with fuel map 6, 4 point something laps. Come on. Fucking tires are getting sloppy. Well, I was in first place. Well, I had to pit. Now I'm in 7th with 5 laps to go. Well, it's not easy to catch these guys. And if I have to force myself to pit again, oof. about to get on Dead by Daylight after I finish this race. Damn it. So, Ollie, you been on playing today or no? Have you been on playing today or no? Yeah, how'd that go? Well, that's kind of the problem with PC now. That's exactly why I don't want to play with them. Well, that and the latency problem. I whooped that ass. But I actually had to pit on the last lap. Gran Turismo 7. It's awesome. I've always loved Gran Turismo. And I got a clean race bonus. Damn. Daddy made bank off that one. I like it. I mean, it's not like the old school arcade racers, you know? I mean, you actually gotta try, you know, to like tune your car, you know, or learn how. A lot of error. So you got the mechanical side of things that's very intuitive, but then you've got the other side, like, you know, if you know, are into any kind of like artistry, you know, or anything like that, you know, you can make custom one of a kind cars that nobody can copy. And that's something I like to do because I paint real cars. So I like how you can be really, you know, really creative with it. I've got this one Ferrari, just an old school 60s, 70s Ferrari, and I call it the burnt Ferrari because it's got this deep dark like burnt red to it with like this blacky smoke type effect that I've embedded into the paint. It's one of a kind and cannot be replicated. Sometimes I spend a few hours on a car. There's cars that I lost on my old account that I spent weeks making. Yeah, PS1. The first Gran Turismos to debut to the world outside of Japan was Gran Turismo 1 and 2 on PS1. I would say there's so many great games that put PlayStation 1 specifically on the market and just crushed every other company's hopes and dreams. You know, you had games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Gran Turismo, and Tekken. So each different type of game, Sony made sure to put a notch in their belt, you know, for each of those. So it's like, and you know, everybody's always like, oh, look at all these new graphics, and you know, look at this ray tracing and this 4K and 2 billion frames a second. None of that really matters when the game sucks balls. I mean, I've seen 8-bit games that I've played that are still better than half of the games today. It's hard to believe that some 8-bit games had a much better mechanic and definitely a better, you know, a better story. But people have gotten lazy over the decades, and they're all about how, you know, how much, you know, frames per second can I get, you know. Let's Yo, boy. Alright. Hell, I remember in the old school days when the closest you could get to any type of artistry, like Gran Turismo has, was like Mario Paint with a mouse. Hmm. Miss, Mist and Riven, yeah, I remember those. I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of games, even modern games, that, don't have ray tracing and stuff, but I mean, they look better than some of the, games that come after them. Look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man looked great. I'm not that. Oh no, that was impressive. No, it was surprising. This car has over 60 hours of work in it. But you can be sloppy, and you can leave jagged and rigid lines. I mean, you actually got to be, kind of skilled at it. People make custom graphics and then upload them, to the game, which is a very, very, very cool concept. And then what I like to do, because I'm just used to cleaning up behind other people in many different aspects. So what I'll do is I'll take their graphics and then I'll turn their graphics into, 20 different things and you'll never even realize that it was their graphic. Because I bet you think when you look at that car, looks like a paint job, don't it? Well, that red with the black smoke stuff burned into it, that's about 22 layers of graphics. And what took so long is I'm extremely particular, when it comes to, I can't have blemishes because I'm a perfectionist in that way. And with this particular car, that you don't see this car on the street. If you did, this is about probably a $36 million car now. Like a real car. There's less than 300 of these in existence, one of which is in a museum. And if it has wheels, I've probably driven it at some point. I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was a Jaguar XJ220. I remember when I drove that thing. That thing was nuts. The only thing I didn't like about it is the faster you go, the shittier it steered. And the car was meant for one thing and one thing only, to show off at high speeds. I mean, you couldn't even hardly touch the pedal at all, and it would do like 0 to 60 in like 3.2 seconds. It was ridiculous. No, actually, this particular car, I put so much time and so much effort into it. Eventually, I'm going to get a model, and an actual model, and replicate it and put it on my shelf. They have contests and things where you can, like send your cars in and stuff like that. I won a couple over on Gran Turismo Sport. But they really haven't had they really haven't had much here yet. But another thing that sets this game away from other games is, well, this ain't exactly a game. People look at it like it's a game, but, well, it goes far beyond that. All these real drivers and stuff, they're the ones who actually did all the stuff for the tracks. Like all the car AIs and all the things that you race against when you're playing, just like, say, the campaign. But there's a whole nother world that most people don't touch, is we actually race with real people from real racing teams. When I was back on Gran Turismo Sport, I raced with two professional women drivers from Germany. Needless to say, they will kick your ass. I mean, I'm good. I'm real good, and they made me look like I was an idiot. I mean, they're good. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, I don't know. people aren't good or bad at Dead by Daylight. It just is.